welcome back to my channel and welcome to another vintage tips and tricks video. Today I'm going to share with you a vintage hair tutorial. It is a 1960s kind of bouffant big 60s hair that you would have seen in my previous video on how to do 1960s eye makeup, and a lot of you asked me to do a tutorial on that hairstyle, so here it is. And before any of you guys ask, the lipstick that I'm wearing today is Kat Von D's Lolita #2 in the liquid lipstick range, so do go and check that out if you would like to grab the same lip color as me, which I wear as my everyday normal lipstick. I love it. Not sponsored, but if Kat wants to sponsor me, I will happily say yes. Basically, what you need for this is a set of hot rollers or your curlers of choice. You could use Velcro rollers or sponge rollers or whatever you want. Try and use the big rollers. I'll show you the setting pattern for this, but use the biggest rollers that you've got. I've had to go with some medium-sized ones, which isn't ideal, but that's what I have. You also want to have your normal hairbrush. Mine's got hair in it, sorry. Always does. A teasing brush or teasing comb with a rat tail. Some hair separating clips, hairspray of course, which I'm running out of even though I got the giant bottle, and some bobby pins, which I'm very elegantly storing in a rubber band. Traveler's life. So, without further ado, I'm going to tell you the setting pattern for my hair. Basically what I've done is set my rollers in a downward pattern, so everything is going back. Because the hairstyle is a big bouffant hairstyle that goes straight back, all of my rollers along the top are rolling backwards, so that's up and curling down and toward my head rather than toward my face. And I've clipped this one back with a bobby pin because it always wants to fall forward. They're not looking very smooth and perfect because I put this top on after I put my rollers in. Fatal mistake, but one I often make. And the neck of this is very tiny, so everything got pulled out and frizzy and I had to put it in again. But I'm hoping it will all be fine. I've got a medium-sized one at the front, but I would recommend a big one. Big, medium, and then I've got two sets of rollers on the side, so I've gone big, medium, and just separated the two different sections and then popped rollers in and done the same on this side. Big, medium. So in total I have 13, 14, 15, 16. So I have a total of 16 rollers in my hair. You may need more or less depending on how much hair you have, the length of your hair, etc. But not styled or curled, my hair is about to here. So, my curlers have cooled, so what I'm going to do now is take the curlers out and brush through my hair. Now this first step is very, very important to getting plenty of body to your hair when you're wanting to do a 60s or even a 50s style do, is to tease each individual curl when you take it out rather than waiting to do it at the end. I have very fine hair and very slippery hair, and I find if I do it the way that a lot of hairdressers do, which is to take all the curlers out, brush it, and then go through and tease the hair, the tease just doesn't hold, or I just get a big ratty horrible mess. I find this method works much better. So let's go. So I tease each individual section and give it a spray as I take it out of the roller. Something to remember when you're teasing is that as you tease, you don't want to go back and forth on the hair. You just want to push the hair down, pull away, push down, pull away, because if you pull back again, you're just undoing your tease over and over again. So it's scrunch in towards your scalp, so you're catching these hairs and smooshing them in towards your scalp each time and going back. And when you do this top section, make sure you hold the hair slightly forward, and whenever you do your tease, make sure you're actually getting right in so that the bristles are coming through to the front and actually combing in towards the front of where you want your lift, because so often we get tease back here and then when you put it back you find you have a strange indent and then a bump. So you need to come in right in with your brush and then create that tease. It's really important for 50s and 60s hairdos to get the lift from the root, see? As opposed to just straight and then the lift at the back section of the hair. this style I'm looking for volume rather than curl. I will get some bunches of curls at the bottom of my hair, which isn't all that desirable, but because I've had to use smaller rollers, that's what's going to happen. Whereas I would rather more of a kind of flip style at the bottom, or a kick out, but that's harder to achieve because of the size of my rollers. Mais c'est la vie. So, if by the end of this you have achieved somewhat of a crazy Dolly Parton effect, then you have achieved the desired result. Now what you want to do is, very carefully, so you're not brushing out your tease, smooth over the outer parts and the ends of your hair. I often start at the bottom and then just gradually add little bits from the top. So you can see I've got a bouncy curl here that I don't really want, but I can't do a lot about that now. I'll just try and brush it as much as I can, but you do have to be careful with a big 60s do not to brush it too much because you want all that volume. And I'm brushing everything straight back because I want that back swept 60s look. So you get an idea from the back what it looks like. Now, I'm brushing carefully by my ear here because I want that little kind of swoopy indentation going on, but I don't want to brush the tease out of this section, so I'm just carefully catching the front and brushing it out and back and trying to get rid of that flippy curl I got going on. I'm going to brush it backwards, that'll help get rid of it a bit. I mean, at this point you can do things like tie your hair back like this and get a very Tippi Hedren look from Marnie. So there's lots of things you can do with this basic setting pattern and brush out. I'm going to show you how to do a bit of a, I guess it's got a little bit of a Brigitte Bardot feel about it, but obviously I don't have the fringe. I'm just going to try and separate the curl out and give it a bit of a bouncy 60s curl instead. Sometimes you just have to go with what your hair wants to do, guys. So I'm just going to break it up with my fingers and let it look a little bit more wild. Now if you are having problems with any of your curls or you want to set it in a certain way, you can use your separating clips to break it into sections, but I'm just going to kind of let it do its thing today, I think, because of the curls I've got at the bottom. But if you did get a flip going out at the bottom, you could put all of your clips around in a line around the back of your hair, around the base, so you get that nice big section and then a dip in. Put your clips in to clip it in and dent the hair, then spray the bottom of it, but I'm not going to do that. I can demonstrate how to do that in another video. Okay, I'm going to look in my trusty mirror. Basically, you need to grab this front section where your hair is lifting up here. Create a little peak for yourself at the front. Grab your hair and push it forward slightly, so you're getting a little bouffant, not too big because you want the hair at the back to be the focus. And then these bits that are hanging forward at the front, you want to kind of bring them forward and back toward the front section of your face and encourage that tease back into my hair. Then what you want to do is get these top sections of hair and sort of pull them out slightly sideways so they're coming back toward your face. Then brush your hair back so you expose your ears a bit, so it's that backwards kind of flippy look. Knock over your hairspray and then smooth yourself out a little. Make sure you're not losing your tease. Push the height back into your hair again and give it a spray. Smooth out any of those flyaways. And And that's it, guys. Big bouffanty 60s hair. I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, click that little notification bell so that you know when my videos are coming out, and feel free to follow me on other platforms, guys. I didn't used to put a lot of effort into them previously because there wasn't anyone following me on there, but you guys have started engaging with me recently on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. So on Twitter, I've started putting a daily tweet with a little vintage tip and trick. So make sure you check me out on Twitter for a daily vintage tip. And on Facebook, my page is Miss B Townsend, but there is a group link to that page called Vintage Tips and Tricks with Miss B Townsend. And it is a friendly place just where anyone who's into vintage style, whether you're a dabbler or a long-term enthusiast, can come and join the group, chat, share your tips and stuff as well, get to know each other, and just generally have a little vintage community going on. So feel free to come visit us there. And on Instagram, I often share like vintage photos and stuff, and that's kind of my picture-y space if you feel like following me on Instagram. But I'd highly recommend following me on Twitter and joining our Facebook group because we would love to have you. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. See you in my next one. Bye!